I believe this is an incredibly busy time for you because this will be Prime Minister Ali's first visit to China since his re-election. So naturally, a lot of expectations in both China and Nepal about what he wishes to accomplish on this trip to China.
The present government contested election with a coalition of two major communist parties. They promised the people political stability and the prosperity. If the people voted them, these two political parties will unite and then will provide the stable government and then will give them prosperity. That was their major commitment. And then people voted them. Means that people voted for stability and people voted for prosperity. Bringing in prosperity, and then parties have given some priority areas, particularly in the context of the economic blockade in 2015. People suffered a lot, and that's why they have a great expectation and hope that the Nepalese economy will be connected with the world's second largest economy through the multiple connectivities, particularly railway connectivity and transport transit facilities. Through that, and then a lot of the people have expectation that Nepal will have a lot of economic opportunities. Country has a lot of potential that has not been fully explored. Lack of the resources, financial resources, technical capabilities, human resource. Basically, the Prime Minister of our Right Honorable Prime Minister's visit would focus and prioritize on building trust to the highest political level.
What areas do Nepal and China have the most potential to cooperate in?
China has shown the unprecedented the development of infrastructures and power in the last 4 decades of opening up and reform. And that very recently experienced the human resources there, and the fast developing technology is there, and the financial resources is there. Not only that, under the Belt and Road initiatives, China is willing to share this with the neighboring countries. That is an opportunity for us. That's why, summarizing all of these sort of things, the connectivity, particularly through the infrastructures, on that too, first the railway, and then highways, and then other kinds of the connectivities, making connectivities, through that promoting tourism and the people-to-people contact. Also developing power, one of the most high potential area of Nepal, and then that will also help augment our economic development.
When people look at Prime Minister Ali's visit to China this time, they will also look at the fact that he paid a visit to India first. And they will want to know how he will strike that balance between China and India.
What I believe personally is that the balance that is a very static word. Balance means you keep as it is. You don't move, no? If you move, and then it will be something that either there is unbalance. That's why this terminology is not appropriate for the relationship between our two countries.
And what would be a better term?
Yes, a better term is that if we talk the relationship with China and the relationship with India, these relationships are independent. Nepal is a sovereign country. It can have right to make the legitimate contact or relation with any other countries, and particularly the neighboring countries. And then if that relation is not intended against another, targeted against another, and then Nepal should not be worried of, should not be considerate about anything else than what others think.
China has brought up this very new and bold idea of building an economic corridor linking not just China and Nepal, but also India, that would run through the Himalayas. How does Nepal like that idea?
This may take some time to take shape, and then feel India also comfortable to come in the same platform for Nepal, and then it will be happy to have happen that kinds of the situation, and then also ready to discuss together, share its ideas. The only condition for Nepal would be have the equitable sharing of equitable benefit. We want to be part of it, and then we want to be benefited equitably, because that two economies, they have more capability, and then they have more stake also, and then the small support for Nepal, small leverage for Nepal, or the flexibility for Nepal would be a big boost for its economic development. That's why we want that kinds of the consideration from our both friends while we develop the trilateral economic cooperation.